afternoon, South Africa. I'm Bonnie Booty. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
I'm Jeannie T. Welcome to today's show. Today is the 4th of February, which is World Cancer Day. And today we have got quite a show lined up for you. Today, the theme, or the tagline, I suppose, of the campaign is #WeCanICan. And the aim is to prove that everybody can make a difference in the fight and the battle of cancer, no matter how big or small the contribution.
Yeah, we certainly have some very inspiring young people joining us in the loft today. We also speak to representatives from organizations across South Africa who are doing great and positive work in this regard. We're first up joined by the co-founder of People Living with Cancer, and then we take a look at the work of an organization called Look Good, Feel Better.
We also have some extremely brave South Africans who are going to be in our loft today that are going to be sharing their stories with their battle with cancer. And in the kitchen, we have Mr. Acquisto.
Indeed, good afternoon, South Africa, and welcome to Afternoon Express. Hope you guys enjoyed the day of cricket yesterday, but it's good to be back in your living rooms this afternoon. Myself and Clem are going to be doing something delicious in the kitchen today, and what I love about this recipe we're making is that it's one of those ones that you always think is going to be difficult to make, but when you actually get down to it, it's simple, the flavors are delicious, and it's all about the meat, right?
And it's fun to make. Believe it or not, it's actually a salad, but you know, ask me to make a salad, I'm going to give you 2 kilograms of beef as well.
Okay, so what are we making?
It's going to be a salt and pepper crusted short rib with, get this, spiral cucumbers, carrot ribbons, and #apples.
Ooh, sounds absolutely amazing. So the sides sound a little bit difficult, but we'll get to those details later on in the show. You can so far, in the meantime, get that recipe and the shopping list from our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. It's very simple to make, and he did say it's loads of fun to get doing, so I'm excited to cook, and hope you guys are too. In the meantime, though, Bonnie's standing by on the couch.
Joining us on the couch right now is Linda Geef, who is the manager of the social work team at GVI Oncology, where she provides high-quality psychosocial support and ensures that all patients receive compassionate and respectful care from all staff. She's also the co-founder of the NGO People Living with Cancer. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So why is World Cancer Day so important, and what's the kind of impact that it's had over the years?
Well, I think the most important thing is to realize that World Cancer Day is an international day. And so South Africa today is actually joining forces with the whole of the world, trying to bring attention to the importance of cancer and the epidemic that it is really in our world. And the Cancer Alliance, which is the alliance that we have formed with many cancer NGOs, 19, have really come together for the first time in South Africa to join forces and to speak in one voice about the importance of cancer, because we feel so strongly that it's still not a national priority in South Africa.
And how big is the cancer problem right now in South Africa?
Well, 1 in 4 people are touched by cancer in South Africa. 100,000 people are diagnosed per year. And that's just a guesstimate, because in South Africa we don't have a proper cancer registry, and therefore we actually don't know how big this problem is.
Wow.
And this is actually also one of the areas that we're lobbying for the National Department of Health and the government to really take this seriously and get a cancer registry up and going, so that we can plan better and really get our services, you know, in line to meet the needs of the people.
Right. And what other challenges are we facing when it comes to helping people who are living with cancer?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges is that in South Africa, with our population, there's about 10 million people that have access to medical aid and that can get services through that source. The rest of the public are dependent on state hospitals. And the cancer problem is that, you know, the whole pathway from the primary healthcare clinics into tertiary hospitals is a very problematic process. And we're really trying to see how can we encourage government to improve service delivery for those people that are really dependent on the state sector. You often hear about state machines being broken or drugs that are not available.
Wow.
In many provinces, the kind of chemotherapy that is available in one province is not available in the other. So there's such a lot of inequity. And that's really what the Cancer Alliance is about. It's about trying to get equitable services for public and private cancer patients in a way that will ensure that patients can survive, like you will hear this afternoon. But if we don't have proper services, people are diagnosed late, and then their chances of survival are very, very small.
Yeah. And how can citizens get involved in cancer advocacy?
Well, I think, first of all, we are actually calling on cancer survivors to speak up about the problems that they
Right,
have, because if we know what their problems are, we can lobby more specifically. And we're also asking the public to be cancer smart, to understand what the warning signs of cancer are, to break the stigma that there is around cancer, to get involved with cancer NGOs. We're asking donors and corporates to really support cancer NGOs so that we can render these services, which at the moment the government can't do due to financial restraints that there are. So every little bit of help that we can get, no matter what, will really make a huge difference.
And who are the members of the Cancer Alliance?
Well, there's 19 cancer NGOs, and I think the miracle of the Cancer Alliance is that this is the second year that this alliance has been formed. And it's the first time in South Africa that NGOs are not fighting about money and other kinds of things, where we're actually putting our resources together and saying, we are speaking for the people that have no voice.
Yes.
So we are lobbying for the change in getting the registry going, to get a cancer plan going, fighting the inequity that there is, and really trying to make cancer a priority in South Africa. And we can only do that if we stand together. And it's wonderful to see what collaboration does.
Yes,
it changes the whole landscape. And I think it gives hope.
Yeah. You're the co-founder of People Living with Cancer. What is your specific role in the organization?
Well, I'm one of the directors, and my biggest role is to head up the support services. And the support services that we do in People Living with Cancer is we have a toll-free line that's available to the whole of South Africa, actually making help available to the person that has a cell phone in the deepest rural area. So that's the one service. We have an online care service as well, so people can log on to our website and actually ask for a buddy. And what we do is we train cancer survivors that have come through the cancer experience to be a cancer buddy. And what we do is we link the cancer buddies up with newly diagnosed patients. And that is the most remarkable thing, because I remember when I got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, even though I was a social worker working in the field, I just wanted to see where's somebody that has the same cancer as me that has come through that experience. And the hope that that brings is remarkable. And it's not just for breast cancer, it's for all the cancers. And there's nearly 300 different cancers that people can suffer from. So if you have pancreatic cancer, we have a pancreatic cancer buddy that you can speak to, and who has had the same treatment. And when you speak to that person, they give you practical help. What can I eat? What can I expect? How will the chemo be? What will radiation entail? And that just gives you such hope to challenge the journey that you have to face on your own mostly.
Well, thank you so much, Linda, for sharing us, and congratulations on all your amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay. If you want any more information on how to contact People Living with Cancer, then be sure to head to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. All the details we posted there. And after the break, Danilo makes us a delicious salt and pepper short rib, and we chat to a representative of the NGO Look Good, Feel Better, that helps restore self-confidence in women living with cancer. We'll be right back on Afternoon Express.
You have lived, laughed, loved, achieved, received, and been rewarded. What's next? Join Diners Club now. This February, you stand a chance of winning an unforgettable Diners Club experience at the prestigious Saxon Hotel, Villas and Spa in Johannesburg with Afternoon Express. Prize includes accommodation and breakfast at the Saxon. Lunch prepared by world-renowned chef Luke Dale Roberts in the company of me, Jeannie D, as well as a spa treatment and a whiskey and food pairing at the exclusive 1805. Visit afternoonexpress.co.za/giveaways to enter. T's and C's apply and are also available on our website.
Welcome back to our Afternoon Express kitchen. This is the kitchen of dreams. And those who do know my journey would know that I absolutely love food and love travel so much. And I've decided what my next destination has to be, and it has got to be Ireland. And I'll tell you why. Because I found out specifically, I've done lots of research, and found out that the leprechauns love to braai something specific, and that is the short rib. Do you get it? Do you get it? Clem?
So today on the show, we're going to be making short ribs, okay?
That was terrible. I built up this whole story. It was a terrible, terrible joke. So we're making something super delicious in the kitchen. What I love about it is really, really simple, just to prepare the meat itself. The side's a little bit more complicated, but we'll show everyone how to do that later on.
more fun than complicated, but
Okay.
talking about the short rib, so I love short rib. So do the leprechauns now, though. No, I know. But the reason I love it is because it's the perfect ratio between meat and fat. So do you mind being my little test, Carl?
A test cow.
Yeah, just like hands up, hands up, hands up. So we
don't
all
know
know.
what's underneath there,
Well,
so-
so these are your ribs, right?
Yes.
We're all pretty familiar. Same on the cow, they all have ribs. On the top, that's where we get our spare ribs from and the ones we all used to. A little lower, closer to the belly, we get our short ribs.
Oh.
So as we know with pigs, belly fat,
Yes.
exactly. That's why we end up with a piece of short rib like
So
this.
now I'm very confused. You said I'm a cow, and now is it a pig? Or is
I'm
it a cow?
saying if we know that as soon as you get to the belly area,
Yes,
as we
that's
know
where
with
the
pork
fatty starts
belly,
to happen.
you know, we see all that fat, same with the cow.
Okay.
You make a good cow.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Jeannie says the same thing.
So what I've got is we're going to sear off the beef first.
Okay.
I'm not
And
commenting.
searing is just to make sure that you give it a very, very light sort of grill.
What it actually does is it caramelizes the meat, and that brings out so much flavor already. So you wouldn't need to add beef stock to this to slow cook it.
Okay.
The-
And searing requires super high heat initially, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, so the hotter the better as you put it down.
Hotter
It's a
than
quick little
what we
turnover.
got right here.
Yeah, so yours is a bit of a wussy one there.
And
but
it's picking up, it's picking up. What's most important, and people get this really wrong, you know there's a saying, don't overcrowd the pan?
Yes.
It's actually not true.
Okay.
I've got this pan really full, right? You can see that?
Yeah.
But the trick is not to move it. As soon as we start moving it, we start, like, the moisture comes out of the meat. As long as I don't touch that, we're going to end up with really crispy, dark caramelized beef.
Ooh, delicious.
That's what you need to get. So while that's
Okay.
cooking, I'm going to talk about the mirepoix. Are you familiar with mirepoix?
Never heard of that in my life.
Okay, great. So I'm going to tell you all about it.
I know a lot about my mirror. I spend a lot of time with that, but
But the-
mirepoix, I don't know what that is.
Okay, great. So I'm going to explain. So we got the beef going, but the beef needs some aromatics just to build on flavor. We don't just want beefy Marmite flavor. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Or bovril. So we're going to add some aromatics, which are the mirepoix, which is the mirepoix, which
I
always
did not know a carrot was an aromatic.
it adds a bit of a sweetness to it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm using the wrong word, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. Some leeks, we've washed these. Everything's very rough because these are all going to get discarded in the end. So it's leeks, carrots, and don't forget, in your imagination, that meat's super browned off already. We just don't have time to do
Okay,
that.
so you would, in a normal circumstance, would have flipped it over, made sure you've done both sides, got it nicely browned, and then you would have started adding your aromatics in. Okay.
Some roughly chopped onion in there as well. So we got carrots,
There's no
leeks,
broccoli, you mean
carrots, leeks, onions.
onions.
There we
And
go.
then
Celery.
You said
A,
broccoli.
B,
C. Okay.
Okay, great. So that's going to get seared off, caramelized. We're going to turn it around. Hit it with some water. Like I said, we don't need any stock.
Okay.
I'm not adding any seasoning.
Have you heated up that water? Is that water room temperature
The
cold?
water's cold.
Okay.
Why I do that is so the temperature comes up evenly, and then all the flavors start coming out. Also, I found that if you add hot water to the pot, it actually brings out quite a lot of impurities.
True.
Okay.
And I think what it starts to do is also start to cook your meat. It would start to cook the meat before it's meant to be. It's meant to be grilled. It's meant to
Exactly.
get that nice sort of those flavors out, not a boiled sort of flavor.
Exactly. So another tip, before this goes into the oven, bring it to a boil.
Okay.
That way it spends less time busy cooking. So this is going into the oven for an hour and a half. See my imaginary oven over there.
Cool. And then we're going to pretend like that has come out of an hour and a half
Look
of
at
oven
that,
time. Look at
vanilla.
us. Look at this.
Okay, so what
Hour
I've
and a half.
done is this is the beef that has cooked for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Imagination, that was awesome.
Scooped it out.
And I've kept the stock because that's going to make amazing beef broth.
What must I do with this?
Not
Yeah.
yet, not
Oh,
yet.
nothing.
Almost there. I've got two types of pepper, Szechuan and black pepper.
Okay.
You're my friend, I'm not going to make you taste the Szechuan, but what it does is it numbs your mouth.
Oh, I've tasted
Funny
Szechuan
that,
pepper
great,
before.
yeah. So imagine we crush it all up, salt, black pepper, Szechuan pepper in the flour, give it all a mix, and then we coat our beef.
And looks something like this.
Let the beef sit in the flour for about 10 minutes. It absorbs all the flavor.
Okay.
Get it into the pan and start stirring that off. Nice and crispy once again. And that's the tip.
So that keeps the outside nice and crispy on the outside, all the flavors stay on the inside.
Exactly.
All right. So obviously all of these tips and tricks are on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, so make sure you don't miss out on that information. It is all going to be repeated there. We're just showing you the basic steps of what this should look like as you go through the process. And we'll be showing you later on how to make all these sides and show you how these delicious short ribs look a little bit later on. In the meantime, though, Jeannie's standing by on the couch.
Thanks, guys. Now, due to the side effects of cancer treatment, many women's self-confidence and self-esteem can be at an all-time low, especially after suffering hair loss and pale, uneven skin tone, etc. This is where the Look Good, Feel Better campaign steps in. Let's take a look.
There are 26 possible visible side effects that we address during the workshop. However, that is the tip of the iceberg. What you see might be these side effects. What you do not see is the rest of the iceberg, which is fear, vulnerability, loss of control.
When they leave is the most important thing, is because you can just actually feel they come and they put their arms around you, they hug you, thank you for, just for being there, and, just that the best thing we could have done was being there for them.
Actually, it was absolutely brilliant. I feel like a new person when you walk out there. You've got a lot more confidence in yourself when you walk out there. You think to yourself that you can't wear makeup anymore because as I said, my eyelashes fell out. I got my eyelashes. But they actually make you do things and make you feel so much better. You actually walk out there feeling like a lady again.
We're now joined by the Volunteer Regional Coordinator from Cape Town, Helen Olof, to learn more about their work. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, what an absolutely moving clip. Firstly, what exactly is the Look Good, Feel Better campaign and movement?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to create this awareness.
It's
for
so
Look Good, Feel
important. What you do is amazing. So tell me about the organisation.
Yes.
I mean, how did it come about?
Well, it was founded in 1989 in America, and now in 26 countries around the world. In South Africa, Margaret Houston, our program director, established it in 2004. Yeah. And so we're going for a very nice time in South Africa already, 10 years, and 27 in total in America. We are helping patients, and some men, women mainly, who to address the appearance-related side effects of their treatment in a practical and positive way. And we're doing that in 40 hospitals and clinics in South Africa now. And we have 285 volunteers like myself who are in teams, in a team in each hospital and clinic.
Wow. So you take on these women, and then what exactly do you do?
We have a workshop, a 2-hour workshop, where they're introduced to the bag of goodies, and the volunteers, the professional therapists, show them how to go through a 12-step skincare and makeup regime. And it's a relaxed, casual atmosphere. So patients feel relaxed once they're inside. They feel it's a friendly atmosphere, and they're shown exactly what to do.
Now, I know it's probably self-explanatory, but surely looking good is going to be very low on the list of priorities for a woman suffering with cancer. Why do you think this is so important?
Yes. Actually, Dr. Caroline Ben, as breast surgeon, said that it's just as important for her patients to attend a Look Good, Feel Better workshop as it is for them to receive chemotherapy and radiation.
Wow.
And it is profound in that their self-esteem, the upliftment that they experience, and the self-confidence that they have when they walk out there. And family and friends and colleagues come back to us and say that it's made such a difference in their lives. So it's a valued support program for people with cancer.
And I'm sure it's also a time where other women get to meet other women who are going through the same thing.
Yes, that support and kinship is in fact wonderful, because patients think that they're the only one in this position. They often are the caregivers in their homes, and they become so despondent, and they really just feel like a woman again. They feel that they can cope and take their cancer journey, embrace it, and move on with it.
Helen, you are a volunteer for Look and Feel Better, but you're also a cancer survivor.
Correct. Yes.
So for you working with this organisation now, why, I mean, from your own experience, why is this so important for a woman?
It does help you to embrace and to take this journey positively. It's very important that you don't see it as the end of the line for you, and that there's so much waiting for you ahead. And the whole stigma attached to cancer, some patients say they haven't told their whole family that they have the cancer. So it is it's really lovely that they meet all the people, and the banter. We don't talk cancer while the workshop's going on. We're too busy. But afterwards, when we pack up, the patients have a tea, and then they can talk about each other's illness and other support and exchange numbers and leave there feeling happy. So many patients say, I feel beautiful. And that I find so heartwarming each time.
Exactly. It's
when
so rewarding.
You see what a difference it's made.
What are the side effects of cancer treatments that could affect a woman's physical appearance and her moods and how she feels about herself?
Yes. When a patient walks in, she often is very vulnerable, and so we do need to create that comfortable atmosphere for her to feel she would like to participate here. But the appearance-related side effects are so daunting. When you lose your hair, when your eyelashes
the lady
fall
said she
out.
lost her eyelashes. My heart just went out to her.
Eyebrows, your face doesn't look the same because you haven't got a definition around your eyes. And dryness, dry skin is a very big problem. Every chemotherapy regime is different and for each patient. So not every patient will have the same side effects, but the very common ones we find is, for instance, nails become very brittle, and puffiness, dark circles around the eyes that patients haven't got from a family.
Helen, thank you so much for chatting to us. We're going to be chatting to you a little bit later as well. Thank you so much for all of the amazing work that you do. Really, and I'm sure we've got details as well. All you need to do is head over to afternoonexpress.co.za if you want any more information on any of the organizations we've spoken to today and how you can get involved. After the break, we're joined by some everyday South Africans who have survived cancer and are here to share their inspirational stories. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
It's lovely to have you join us back on Afternoon Express. Today, as we witness World Cancer Day, it's important for us at Afternoon Express to recognize and celebrate the everyday South Africans who are fighting the good fight against cancer. We're joined by 3 South Africans who've all been through their own personal battle with cancer. Welcome, Danielle, Dineo, and Owen. Welcome to the loft, guys.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you good? Yes. You look good.
Thank you.
So, guys, tell me about when you were first diagnosed with cancer. How did you feel and what was the experience like? Do you remember?
The first thing that came into my mind was death. I definitely thought that I was going to die. It was one of the hardest things to accept, but as time went by, I accepted it.
Wow. And yourself, Danielle?
I was...
Owen, that's Danielle and you.
I was doing my matric finals when I was diagnosed. And that experience for me it was shocking. It was devastating for me and my family. And one of the first questions that came into, or thoughts that came up in my mind was, why me? I mean, I look at so many other teenagers out there who do drugs,
who have
drink,
crazy lifestyles.
And I'm the total opposite of that. And I was just, why me? I mean, you know.
You felt like it was unfair.
Definitely.
Wow, wow. And yourself, Dolly?
My mom and I, we were at hospital when the doctors told my mom I had cancer. I didn't understand what it meant because I was small, and I asked my mom to explain it to me, and she told me that I was sick, very, very sick. And I thought it was just a cold that can be healed easily just by drinking a few medicine and pills and stuff.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you had thought about cancer before it happened to you that you then found out aren't true after going through the experience?
For me, as well, in the past, in my mind, there was no such thing as a cancer survivor. Because of my experience I had with family members and people that I knew, they've all succumbed to the illness. They all died. And when I was diagnosed, I immediately applied that to my life.
Sure. And yourself?
To me, it was the fact that I've never seen or met anyone who has cancer. I'm the first one actually in my family.
Yeah.
As he said, for me also, I was just wondering why did it happen to me of all the people that it could happen to, you know. So after I found out that it can be cured, because some other people do die from it. So when I found out that it can be cured, I was very excited.
Yeah.
Some of the first thoughts that came into my mind was, am I going to be healed? When is this going to be done with? What's going to happen next? What's like the next step? Because I was small and I didn't understand what the next step was.
Yeah.
So.
And how does finding this out change your life? How does it actually affect your life, like your life with your friends? Did it change your personality? Did you find that you just changed as a person?
To me, it made me actually appreciate life more often. It makes me want to cherish each and every day as if it was my last.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some kids or my friends treated me like I was contaminated with some disease. They didn't want to play with me anymore, and I used to be alone and not have like my friends that I had. So it was hard.
Wow. Are there some friends that did stand by you, that were good to you?
Yes, they were like always, are you okay? What's happening? Do you need anything?
That's wonderful. Owen?
I certainly have a different view on life now. I appreciate the smallest things in life. Well, not my life and my family's lives. It changed our lives tremendously. We've learned to appreciate each other. And well, when I was ill, I saw my friends live their lives, and to me it was a life that I thought I should have been living. You know, partying, celebrating matric pass, birthdays, and when I was cleared, I didn't feel the need to catch up, and just go crazy and start partying and yeah, but yeah, emotionally, it changed me.
It changes you. How did it change you?
Well,
do you feel like you've become more subdued as a person?
No, it actually changed me for the better. I mean,
wow.
I wasn't sort of, if it's an extrovert, I wasn't, I kept to myself all the time. But after this, it sort of gave me a voice to stand up and speak more. Yeah.
That's amazing. And do you think that there's enough information out there for South Africans to understand cancer? I mean, when you speak to your friends and people in your life, do you feel like some of the ideas that people have around cancer and about cancer are so not well informed?
After I was diagnosed, I met a friend, and they told me some crazy story that they thought cancer was contagious by just touching someone or being in the same room, and that clearly showed that people aren't that educated on cancer.
Yeah. Anything you want to add?
Ever since I was in primary school till now, in high school, no one came to tell us about cancer or teach us anything about cancer. So I don't think that South Africa is well informed about cancer.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have any message for any young person or adult who's just been diagnosed and they feel like this is the end? What would you say to them?
It's definitely not the end of the world. Life does go on after cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not a death sentence. You can still live your life, but you have to fight back. No matter how hard it gets, it will be difficult because you lose your hair, and that was, for me, was the most difficult part.
Yeah.
And just knowing that you will be able to fight back and you will overcome this breach that's separating you from your future life. You can come to that point in life.
It's awesome. And yourself, Owen?
Well, like Danielle said, cancer is not a death sentence.
Yeah.
And a message that a message I'd like to leave with the viewers is that, I mean, look at us. I mean, we beat it, and so can they.
Of course.
It might not seem like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just persevere and keep the faith and never give up, you can succeed.
Well, I'm truly, absolutely inspired by you guys, and judging by everything that you say and think, I know you're going to live very long, fruitful lives. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
So stay right where you are, because when we return, we're taking a break from our topic of the day to look back at our experience at the 2016 Met last weekend. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You have lived, laughed, loved, achieved, received, and been rewarded. What's next? Join Diners Club now. This February, you stand a chance of winning an unforgettable Diners Club experience at the prestigious Saxon Hotel, Villas and Spa in Johannesburg with Afternoon Express. Prize includes accommodation and breakfast at the Saxon. Lunch prepared by world-renowned chef Luke Dale Roberts in the company of me, Jeannie D, as well as a spa treatment and a whiskey and food pairing at the exclusive 1805. Visit afternoonexpress.co.za/giveaways to enter. T's and C's apply and are also available on our website. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, the 2016 Met set Cape Town alight over the weekend as fashion lovers and equestrian enthusiasts alike converged at the Kenilworth racetrack for a day of horse racing, fashion and music. Amidst all the excitement, we finally got to reveal our collaborative designs with some of SA's top designers to take the rare blend theme to the next level.
Over the past few weeks, Afternoon Express followed me, Jeannie and Bonnie as we collaborated with some of South Africa's top fashion designers to create a rare blend of style for the hotly anticipated 2016 Met.
Finally, after weeks of preparation, the big day is upon us and the fashion stakes are high.
We are ready to mingle with SA's A-list, dressed to impress in that rare blend theme.
Spend the day with us as we give you a peek into the 2016 Met VIP style.
Combining the unexpected and teaming up to innovate, my unique fashion collaboration with Sheldon Kopman took a rare blend to the next level. My oh my, it has been a journey of the last few weeks with Sheldon Kopman from Naked Ape. We've been exploring all kinds of fabrics, trying to bring that urban explorer to life. And today you can finally see the full thing come together. This is a typical rare blend. It is beautiful. The way that we've incorporated that sort of casual feel with the hood, we've thrown in a nice jacket which gives me that formal edge to myself. All the detail from like things from the top of the jacket right down to the shoe. Everything fits perfectly. I feel and look super hot.
The culmination of the inspiration, the theme of the event, a rare blend, Danilo himself, his physical structure, his complexion, and the way we brought it together with the various different fabrications is a rare blend indeed.
Combining athletic lines with sexy sophistication, Jeannie's look maximizes the minimal.
I'm absolutely mad about the sports luxe trend, and it just goes to show that a rare style combination and the willingness to try something new really does go a long way on the red carpet.
If you look at Jeannie's look right now, this final look is definitely first and foremost a collaborative effort. And I think with her, she wanted to really, speak to social media and things that are trending currently amongst these fashionistas that you often see on social media.
Look, CGDT blended masculine and feminine with this daring tuxedo dress.
This is it. This is my Met 2016 rare blend look. I absolutely love it. And the reason why it's the perfect rare blend for me is that it marries this classic androgyny with this frivolous, whimsical, girly back. And I feel absolutely confident, and I think the accessories and the tiara just makes it perfectly.
I'm quite excited what happened in the end, and I particularly the sort of juxtaposition of the masculine tailoring with the feminine styling. I think it just screams rare blend.
You know when you always got a little bit of an surprise where you go, you've envisioned it to be gorgeous, but it's actually even more so. And I think it also comes with Bonnie's personality. She puts it on and she suddenly becomes this cool chick. And I think that's so divine.
I think it's how you wear the clothes that are as important as what you look like.
If fashion was in the race, it would have won by miles, as racegoers partied in the sunshine and showed off their rare blend fashion combinations.
I'm wearing Criterion George, and we thought we'd go with something a little bit different, a real pop of colour. We're here with Tall Asmo, and we certainly are a rare blend together. We're planning to have lots of fun today.
I mean, it's ebony and ivory. you know, pink and blue, you understand? Black and white, those kind of vibes, you know? So the rare blend was like, I told Tamara, you go bright, go out there, and I'll be the dark side, you know, I'll be nice and dark. So we're like a yang, yin and yang.
You know, the pink is it's kind of a rare blend with me, you know? I'm quite edgy and that kind of thing, so pink is not my usual color, but I'm really loving it.
I am wearing Lloyd Hot Sense. It was trust and faith in him. When he took this out, I was like, seriously? But he said this is what it is. This is a rare blend, so here I am.
What I wanted to do is combine African queen and a bit of floral, so just strong accents in terms of the accessories, which are very African and Afrocentric, and then at the same time have, you know, something summery and floral for this beautiful weather in Cape Town.
Looking amazing on race day is only half of it. Watching your horse come into the sounds of SA's finest music talent makes for the ultimate day out.
I love this rare blend, and I love the fact that, because this is exactly what's happening in South Africa. It's about putting things together that don't necessarily go together, but absolutely go together. And it's, I like the colors. I like that everybody's gone crazy. But other than that, I think it's hot this year, man. Let's do this. The weather's fine. The ladies are fine. I mean, let's win at life.
Whether you're into horses or high heels, the 2016 Met took the trophy. World-class horse racing meets cutting-edge high fashion. Now that's a rare blend.
Ho-ho!
Sure.
Well, there you have it, the 2016 Met. You guys looked sensational, if I do say so myself.
It was such a cool event. I think this show was one of the best organised Mets I've ever been to, and it was just so big.
You
and
really
bright.
did enjoy how you looked. I mean, did you see in the video clip, Danilo actually was like, well, actually, I'm looking super hot.
Guys, I was feeling myself. To be honest, it's the first time I've ever had one of the best designers in the country come forward and make a design like that was that elaborate. So I felt
she looked amazing.
cool.
Yeah,
and you were insane. That tiara just suddenly made you like,
Right? You were just saying that I had a complete personality change after I put on that
Those
tiara.
shades did not come off
You
throughout
see
the entire
no,
day.
they did not come off. And I kept having to say to people, I'm not usually this rude. It's just part of my look. But when I put on that tiara, I did suddenly feel at home, so I'm royalty.
Well, let's have a look at some of the other outfits. There's Kat, who just looked so cool.
He did. He
He's
looked
actually,
sensational.
don't you think he's really come into his own and feels so comfortable wearing something edgy and quite daring?
And anything, you'll put on anything and you feel so confident in it, which is really cool.
Now, Lala
that was one of my favourites.
Claire cape that she had put together. And I remember seeing her the next day and she was just saying how beautiful she felt in that dress. Because a lot of girls who are that beautiful tend to feel self-conscious a lot of the time. She said she just felt sexy head to toe.
She looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks so luxurious.
Totally. All those textures and stuff.
Oh, then we have Boitie. Boitie had booty.
Yeah.
And she looked amazing, but there was very little to the imagination there. But, I mean, with her body, she can do it.
And she also knew what the perfect accessory was, which was an assistant. She had somebody carrying that huge, trail behind her the entire time.
There was a bridesmaid with her.
Yeah.
Now, I must say, the gents' fashion that I found at this Met this year, I was a bit disappointed with some of the masculine men because there wasn't much of that rare blend that was going in there. A lot of the real fashionistas came quite flamboyant and big, and it was really androgynous and that sort of look. But these guys, I thought, did an incredible job. Zukisi and Bane, they put together some great looks. I love the way that they got a lot of South African feel to it, bright colours and stuff. That was a rare blend, and they kind of kept that idea of masculine fashion, I suppose.
Sure. Well, you know what I thought was quite a rare blend? The fact that Kanye Mbao was dressed.
Yeah.
And she was actually very well dressed. No, I think the more she covers up, you actually take note on her actual beauty.
Yes.
She looked fantastic, and I really, high five to you, Kanye. You looked
She looks
amazing.
incredible, Looks absolutely amazing.
It's not actually reading as well on TV as in real life.
As
in real life, it looked amazing.
It was very impactful. I'm sorry, I'm going to reserve my comments on this. I just don't get it.
I don't like it
I
either.
don't understand.
There's no
I'm
red blend. I
confused.
think it was just picked out from a store, looks like.
No, it's a bit too evening-y. I mean, it's a beautiful dress. I just don't know if it was for the Met.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's fun.
It's cute.
Lots of fun.
Fun. Next. Oh, can we discuss?
okay.
Now, this is a rare Nadia Ngoma. Beautiful girl. I mean, such a stunning little body. Interesting outfit. I mean, it's a rare blend.
Yeah.
She even looked like Eve from if she was the new Eve in sort of Adam and Eve. She looks incredible, with all of those flowers and prints. Now that's a rare blend of looks and textures, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's Miss South Africa.
Miss SA.
Very elegant. Very Miss South Africa.
Very Miss SA, yes.
Yeah, safe,
I saw a lot of
pretty.
tutus this year at the Met. There were a lot of tutus and the sort of poof dresses out this year.
I generally felt like the celebrities really played it safe. They're all...
Totes.
Made it really safe.
I really loved Tamara's outfit. And funny enough, there was a guy there who was wearing half of a suit and half tattoo. I think he looked amazing.
That was amazing.
Now make sure you stay right where you are, because after the break, we're finishing off our dinner of salt and pepper short ribs with an interesting cucumber and apple salad. We're going to be right back after this.
Salati Plantation Select adds subtle sweetness to toffees, caramel, bran muffins, or sprinkled into a spicy curry. Salati, always good, always sweet.
Fresh Pack. Goodness comes naturally.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, make sure you tune in for Top Billing this evening at 7:30 on SABC3, with repeat on at the repeat is Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Now, tonight they take a look back on the most extravagant and exclusive weddings featured on the show during 2015. From Metro FM's Griselda Canada to former Miss SA Nicole Flint, these are the cream of SA wedding crops. Now, if you're looking for inspiration or just want to relive your favorite I-Do, then be sure not to miss out. And Daniela's in the kitchen with dinner.
I hope we're not going to get married anytime soon. All right, so, because all those weddings are really, really expensive, but what isn't too expensive is our dish today, right? We've done our short ribs so far, South African. What we've done is we've basically put the short ribs in a little pan. We sort of grilled that up, which is smelling delicious, and it looks amazing. It takes a little bit longer than just the hour of our show today. So what you guys can do is go to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and start making it yourself and show us how it looks.
Cool, I'm so excited about the next part. I was almost going to cut you off and be like,
we need to go.
Let's start. Okay, so spiralizer is one of my favorite kitchen tools. I don't think everybody's going to have one at home, but that's great. If you don't have one, thinly sliced cucumber is amazing.
Okay.
But you're going to do that today.
Okay, but I can use the spiralizer.
So as you do, you keep on going, turn, and push. Should be coming out the other end.
It is that happening? Oh my word, it is. It's like making a little spaghetti.
Absolutely. And it's my 9-year-old sister gave me the idea for the salad.
She meant to break this off.
You know, you keep on going to make one massive spiral.
One, okay.
So my little sister Gemma, she makes amazing salads, and she chops everything up in like different ways. So some will be like, she even makes carrot squares, the craziest spiral cucumbers, and just like crazy things. So that's where the inspiration came from today. So I'm gonna do the carrot ribbons along while you're busy with that.
Okay.
Are you having fun?
I am having fun so far. It's so much simpler than I thought it was going to be, because I was really, really nervous. I've never had to do this in my life before, and I see it a lot in restaurants at the moment. It seems to be one of those trends in restaurants is to make these sort of things. And I think a lot of South Africans might be feeling like, oh my word, this is far too elaborate for me to ever make by myself. And the best part about the recipes we do on Afternoon Express is that you can just make it your own.
Exactly.
Do your own thing. The ingredients remain the same. How you choose to style it is yours.
And I find that kids actually love when you actually prepare vegetables that way. When you take a recipe, make it your own, like we're doing today. I mean, spiralized cucumber. When last have you had a salad like that?
Totally.
No.
Never, actually.
Okay, so my carrot ribbons, all about the shapes today. So how are you doing with your cucumber?
I'm basically done. I think I'm just getting towards the end of the bitter side of the cucumber, so I'm going to stop right.
Awesome. So bring out the inner food stylist in you. Why don't you just plate that down on the plate?
Okay, just throw these onto here.
Wow, I'm so impressed. Look at that.
That looks really good.
And then the last thing I'm going to do, last fruit to go in, are the hashtag apples. That's just the name that was given to her.
How do you like them apples?
So all it is, I've got a funky, cool little crinkle cut peeler.
Okay, but
if
again,
if you don't have
one, just do what you got.
We're just being funky today in the kitchen.
Looks so cool.
So hashtag apples, you want to know why we call it that?
Why?
Because after you peel it back in the opposite direction.
Oh my word, that's so cool. Makes a whole bunch of hashtags.
Awesome.
All right.
The thing is,
I was wondering where you're going with that, actually.
If that failed on TV, I'm sorry, I don't know how I would explain that.
So, hey, we make great YouTube content. We put it online, don't you worry.
So I'm going to keep on going with the apple. If you can add some of the herbs for me, I've got some mint and basil. And I'm saying it again, this year, we're not chopping any herbs. We're adding it whole. We want to actually know what we're eating. So get that in there.
Ta-da. It's going to be a very herby salad that we've got over here. I'm going to just remove some of this.
But you know what?
Stems.
A little bit of an extra herb is not going to hurt because we've got quite a lot of meat to go with it.
Cool.
Like I said, I was asked to do a salad and I just added some meat to it.
Okay.
So let's just fluff it up. Let's see some of that cucumber.
So it looks pretty healthy, this dish we're making today.
It is actually quite healthy. I mean, the beef we've got going off, it was done healthy. Cool. We've got the veggies and the fruits and everything, all the herbs in there.
So no bones in that. Throw it in, spray it up.
Spray it up with an oil-free dressing. How's that? How cool is that?
Looks delicious.
We are so on train today.
Can I please take this to the ladies? I'm dying.
Be my guest. Let's go.
Thank you. Looks absolutely amazing, and it's really, really exciting. You guys can get this recipe from our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. It's very healthy for you because it's obviously got those nice, good fats for you that are involved with the meat, and it's also got all the delicious flavors of the meat as well as all the veggies and those herbs that are thrown into here. It's light, it's fresh, and it's really good for summer. Ladies, over to you.
That definitely does look delicious. Now, if I can just say that the three of you were the most outstanding guests today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
And you know, we ran out of time. I wanted to ask you all this. Beyond this and overcoming and fighting to survive, what are your dreams for the future?
Currently, I am doing, I'm studying chemical engineering, so hopefully when I get my degree, I have plans to go overseas, or maybe Dubai, and go into oil industries, and
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Winning.
And yourselves?
I'm planning to become a social worker. I definitely want to work with youth, young people like me. But I also want to, you know, to travel because I love meeting new people, eating different food and the new culture, all that stuff.
Awesome, Danielle.
And yourself?
I want to be a medical doctor, but I want to specialize in pediatrics because I want to help children that has cancer not to like go through the stuff I went through. So because it's quite hard.
I love that. Last week we had exactly similar guests too, and what I find so fascinating about people who have gone through a lot of suffering or gone through something, always want to give that back to somebody else who doesn't have that experience. You'll never know until you walk a step in their shoes. So really, really cool for you to be here on the show today. Thank you.
Now, make sure you join us again tomorrow for Afternoon Express and tune in early because during the first 15 minutes of the show, we're chatting to one of Parcella's brand new presenters, the sexy Sean Marco Forster. And in the kitchen, we're going to be making chocolate ice cream sandwiches.
So
I bet you guys wish you were going to be tomorrow for these chocolate
From
sandwiches.
healthy meat salads to ice cream sandwiches for tomorrow. Oh, know how
But
to
this
keep it
looks
balanced.
yummy. I'll definitely want this.
Please dig in. South Africa.
Until tomorrow, thank you
joining
so
us.
much. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy eating.
Good night.
Good night.
Ciao.
Another feel-good production.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Join the Afternoon Express family by subscribing to our channel right here. And we'll keep you up to date with all our recipes and of course our fabulous episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share this video. We do love it when you express yourself.